stat sheet, but the stuff that helps you get to that, stuff that helps you jump, that makes you jump higher, those squats, stuff that really matters. And we don't really have much of a sport performance in our high school here in Syracuse. I didn't really learn how to lift like the way I'm teaching the kids now until I got to college with my strength and conditioning coach at Ithaca. And that, like I said, that was another person that made me want to get into training, as well as I'm not sure if you know Vinny Scolo. He's known for working with Latavius Murray. So just seeing people that actually care about the development of the body, how getting the stats about your body, how to build muscle, how to cut muscle, how to grow in different areas, learning the form. I dislocated my elbow in high school, so learning how to get the flexibility back in my elbow, stuff like that. They need who I am today, because I learned from people that actually cared about what they were doing, and it rubbed off. And now I use the same stuff that I learned with those guys, or just from watching people from outside looking in, into what I do now. And the results that I'm getting with these kids, or anyone older that I'm working with, as well as the feedback that I get from the kids, is amazing. Like, they're leaving workouts and they're feeling great, or they're going to another workout, and I'm teaching them. So now we're doing double sessions, we're doing triple sessions. Because I got kids that got to go leave for school, and my worst thing is you're not going to be training with me and go to a school unprepared, because then it reflects back on me, and that we didn't really put the work in. And I'm all about that, really just working and working and working.
And that's the thing. It sounds like you have attention to detail for every kid, that you don't mail it in. It's not worth it to you to, teach one kid but not teach another, and to make sure you spend the time. How vital is that, that every kid feels important? People say it all the time, Dante, I love the kids, or it's all about the kids, but, you say it or you live it. I mean, bring me into why for you it is all about the kids, and the emphasis that you have on that in training them, that it is about them, and it's not just said that it's about them, because kids have a lot of people that say they're going to show up, but then there's a small list of people that actually do.
Honestly, it's super important. It's almost just important as, like we were talking about earlier, with the parent support. So the kids know that they feel loved. So like every kid, like you say, every kid not going to go D1 that I train, or they might not go D2. They might not even go D3. But it is good for them kids to know that through hard work, you can go to a JUCO. You can build up. You don't have to just go to the top right out of the gate. Sometimes it's better when the story has more to it. And I told those kids all the time, like, you work hard, you don't got to really worry too much about where I'm going to go. But what I do tell people is work hard, put the work in, and live with the results. Because if you put the work in and you worked hard, and let's say you don't make it to where you wanted to go, or you end up don't play in sports no more and you go get a job in the real life, but you'll be able to accept the fact that you gave it your all. You put everything into what you were trying to do. You gave it your full effort trying to get a scholarship. You just didn't get it. That happens. But when you're able to accept that and move on, I feel like that builds the character inside of you. And when I'm training kids, they have to know that they're loved, that I care about them, because or else I'll just taking their money. Sometimes I tell kids, like, if you don't have, the training fee, still come. They'll come get the work in. It's not so much about the money. It's more about what I want to show you. When you're good at something, you're going to get paid for it. So that comes with it. But I don't care if a kid can't bring money today. You can still come. Sometimes when kids don't have money, they don't want to say anything to you, because then they think, oh, I'm not going to be allowed to come today. That doesn't work with us. You can still come. You can still be a part of the family. Come get the work in. You just got to let me know up front. And when kids know that, it's not like you're giving all your attention to 2 other kids and you got a group of 4. Everyone that is in the gym with us gets their attention, and they also get pushed. So everyone gets yelled at. Everyone gets a high five when they do something good. Everyone gets pushed to the max. They might do something good, and I might make them run another 5 laps, just because that extra conditioning is going to pay off when they go somewhere else. But they know that I care, and it shows, because when I'm working out, I can send the group of kids that I train and give them instructions on what to do, and I don't have to be there. And they each will push each other. They're not going to go in there and, let's just shoot the ball out, let's play 5-on-5. They're going to get real work, and it's almost like every session that I train in, they're almost coming to fighting. And not that they will fight each other, but because they're all passionate about what we're doing. And if you're not passionate when you're working out, you're doing it for the wrong reason. I always mention the pros. Like, when you see the pros train or you're watching the pros and you're like, oh, man, that was cool. Get out of that habit and start to get in the habit of where you're watching them and you're wondering, how did he do that? How did he move that way? How did she move that way? How did she do this? How did she get here that fast and then get back? When you start to think like them, you'll be able to, put more out the same way the pros do. When you go get shots up, are you just shooting the ball just to shoot it? Or are you actually working on your form? You're holding your follow through. How is your feet looking? Stuff like that actually matters. And then I send people all the time. I send them film. I send them motivation videos. Stuff that gets me going that I know will reach them in a different way. Each kid has their own story. So you can't treat every kid the same, and that's what I try to do. I try to, treat every kid accordingly. But also, I'm a big brother to them. They all look up to me, so I know how I have to carry myself a certain way because I have eyes on me. And it's just, like I said, we're just all a family, and you can feel that. And I feel like everyone that trains with me, they stay because of that family feeling. Everyone around us is brothers and sisters, and we're all working towards the same goal, just a different path.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you said a lot of stuff. How you're being looked at. So how you train and what you do and how you carry yourself is being looked at. So every single day you have to bring your best. You have to bring your A game. People trying to get places, they come on different paths, but they're trying to achieve a similar goal. To when you're training, are you purposeful in your training? Are you just messing around? Are you going in the gym and just taking deep shots? Or are you actually working on your form? Are you working on, like you said, your follow through, how you land? Are you working on how you set up, where your feet are at? Are you working on your eyes? I mean, one of the best things I was ever taught playing basketball growing up was beef. Bend, eyes, elbows, follow through. And it still works today. And I learned it in a Marcellus basketball camp. And I ended up becoming the MVP of the playoffs at that camp, and we won the championship that year. So to me, it's like those lessons that helped me do well there. I mean, now, 21 years later, I still use it. If I'm out on a court and I'm shooting and it's not coming on, I go, Dan, I will literally say to myself, Dan, remember beef. I'm like, remember beef, you got this. And then I do what I need to do, and I reset, and I take off, and I shoot the way that I need to shoot. I mean, it's incredible how there is such a difference between, and it could look the same to somebody. Somebody shooting in a gym could look the same, but it's different because some people are just shooting and some people are just messing around, and other people are working on that form, working on what they learned, whispering beef to themselves, doing what they got to do, learning how to attack. I put myself in situations on the court where, I'm going to shoot the shots I like, but I'm also going to go to the gym and say, okay, where did I not play well? Where did I struggle? I didn't attack the basket. I shot a lot of threes. Okay, I got to work on my attack. I got to work on my first step. I got to work on my, my fadeaway. I have to work on my ability to switch, directions quickly. I need to work on my left. I need to be able to shoot left. I need to be able to, kind of fake somebody out and come back. There's all these things that can help me to become a better player. So am I shooting for the sake of shooting, or am I remembering the moments, the 3 moments in the game where I really felt like I needed to change up what I was doing? A good trainer will help you to see what you're doing. A great trainer will see what you're doing, assess the situation, and create a plan on how to fix that problem. So, for you, it's kind of like everybody you train is like an open canvas. You do have to lead them all differently. You do have to treat them all differently because nobody's the same. And I think one of the things that's cool that you brought up and that we can talk about here in closing is the fact that you can't lead anybody the same. You can't train anybody the same. And if you try to have a blanket training policy plan, you can have different things you do and say like this works for this and this works for that technique. I'm not saying that, but you can't take an open canvas and paint them all the same because people don't want copies, they want originals. So how you train people and how you lead people, You have to be a little bit different for every single person. If you get 7 point guards that come in, well, they're different heights. They have different levels of experience. This guy could shoot threes. This guy struggles with this. This guy doesn't have good vision. So, I mean, you literally, as a trainer or as any leader in life, cannot train everybody exactly the same way in a cookie cutter style because you're never going to get the best out of them.
Right. And before you move to the next topic, I just wanted to add that a lot of kids look at Steph Curry and James Lillard and see them shooting logo shots and think it's cool, but they don't work on their legs. How can you watch Steph and Dame and like, man, I want to shoot that shot too, or I can shoot that shot, but you don't work on your legs. You're airballing that shot. That's why I tell my kids all the time, there's a difference. Stop watching games as a fan and watch as an athlete. Put yourself in their shoes. Live in the moment. Because watching as a fan, you're in awe. You're surprised that they're doing that. Steph Curry isn't surprised that he's making those shots. He knows he's going to make it. He knows what the work that he put in, the hours. Stuff like that matters. It translates. And when you shift your focus as an athlete that way, things will open up way better for you. It'll open up more because then you're thinking next level. You're not thinking like, oh, I got to do this and that. I got to score 50. 50 will come to you. Steph doesn't go out and say, I got to do this, I got to do that. He goes out and plays. He knows the work that he puts in. So these kids that just go out there and try stuff, but they don't practice on it and don't get the results that they expect, this is why. Go in the gym, shoot 1,000 shots. You might miss 500. So what? But when you go into a game, that muscle memory kicks back in. You might make 8 out of 8 threes. I just wanted to add that before you shift on to the next topic because a lot of kids see stuff on TV and go out and try it, but they don't actually practice it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, and they see, and again, to kind of go off of that in another way from another angle, people want to be Steph Curry. I don't want them to be Steph Curry. I want them to be Dante Coker. I want them to be Dan Tortora. I don't want them to be, you should never want to be somebody else. God didn't make you to be a copy of somebody else. You can like their game, you can utilize their game and see different things, but I would never want somebody to say, I mean, it's a compliment when people have said to me before, like, oh, you sound like Bob Costas. It's great. Like, I understand that, and I take that as a compliment, but I don't want to be the second coming of Bob Costas. I want to be the first coming of Dan Tortora. So, I'm sure that, you see that too, is you don't want to be Dante Coker, the trainer that's just like blah, blah, blah trainer. You want to be Dante Coker. And I think people need to kind of realize that at some point in their life is you may emulate somebody, you may have someone as a mentor, you may appreciate somebody as a teacher or appreciate them from afar, but you have to be you because God didn't make you to be a copy. Even when God, this is how I know God didn't make anybody to be a copy. Even when you have identical twins, they're different. There's something about them that's different. They laugh different. Their mannerisms are different. One of them wants to be a nurse and the other one wants to be a poet. There's difference. If God didn't make identical twins to be carbon copies of each other, then God did not make you to be a carbon copy of somebody you don't even look like. So, I think it's important to always remember to be uniquely you, and it sounds like that's been a big part of your story.
Definitely.
That coming from Dante Coker here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Cafe Kubal Studios. Dante, in closing, I promised you this. You can ask me any 3 questions in the world. It's called Rapid Fire. I know you've heard the show before, so you may have heard this. So you can ask me anything. Could be sports, could be life, could be literally anything on your mind. I have to answer it. 3 questions. When you're ready, go ahead.
What separates your show from any other ones that you've ever watched so far?
I love the question. What separates my show from any show I've ever watched before? I would tell you that, and I don't know if how much other people care and whatnot, but I can tell you my show unapologetically talks about God. I have a strong faith, and I tell people all the time, if you're Muslim, Jewish, Catholic, any other type of Christian, agnostic, atheist, whatever you are, you're always welcome to listen to my show. And I'm not going to apologize about my faith in God. And if you don't like the fact that I accept you and you can't accept me, that's on you. But, I think for me, I accept everybody, but I have a very strong faith in God, and that never wavers. So, I would say what separates me on my show is I talk about God. I do different things like the annoying moment of the week and the ingredients to success. I'm always seeking to inspire. I think if you watch the shows I watched growing up, and I don't need to name them, but I feel like if you watch them, you get strictly sports. Just sports. Stats, 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 opinion, anger, blah, blah, blah. I could say what's different about my show from working on other shows and seeing other shows is I don't take on a different voice. I don't change my, hi, this is Dan Tortora. Like, I don't do any of that garbage. So, my voice is my voice. My beliefs are my beliefs. I don't take an opinion because I know it'll piss people off and get me ratings. I don't seek ratings. I seek relationships. So I would tell you my faith in God, my unwavering faith, my desire to talk about it, my not being afraid to talk about it, the comedy I bring to my show, the life that I bring to my show, as the tagline is where sports meets life, that I am genuine and that I say what I think and not what I feel like people want to hear. I don't take opinions for the sake of taking them. I don't lie to my listeners and viewers and readers because I don't want to have to remember all that stuff. I mean, what you see is what you get. So I think what separates me from any other show that I watched is I am me, and I'm sure other people are too, but altogether I think, when you watch Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora or Superpowered Pop or Dan on Disney or anything I do, you get me. My loved ones know that this is me. Strangers, come to know that this is me. I care about relationships more than stories. I love to bond people together. I love to make people laugh. I love to make them think. I love to make them cry, hopefully happy tears, and realize things that matter in their life. I'm always seeking to be a vehicle of positivity and community and humility and comedy and justice and equality and love. And, this show is just my way of writing a love letter to the world every single day. And I don't think anybody else can give you that.
Great. Second question. What is your goal with your show? What is the sole purpose? And what is the audience that you want to reach?
The goal of my show and its sole purpose, the audience I want to reach. I want to reach as many people as I can. I've had people listen with their kids that are like 4 or 5 years old. I've had grandparents listen. I've had parents. you name it. When I came into this business, they told me men 25 to 54. I said, what about the women? And, my show has always included women. It's always been supported by women from all I can tell of the last 17 plus years. And so I would say my audience is everybody. What do I hope to do with the show? Where do I hope to go? I look forward to building an app. I do have an app, but I look forward to building a Dan Tortora broadcast media app, which will include Dan on Disney and Superpowered Pop and Wake Up Call and really everything I want to do. It'll include other people that want to have their shows. And it'll essentially be an app that is almost like having a bunch of TV channels on the same network. And what that would do for you is it would give you your entertainment fix. A lot of things, your comedy. There's a lot of things I want to do, and I would love to have this network really come to life where you could download it on your phone, put it on your Roku, put it on your Fire Stick, and really just say, okay, Dan's going to bring me sports. He's going to bring me movies. He's going to bring me music. He's going to bring me all this stuff, happy stuff, good stuff, and I can go to one place for it. So I would say I would like to think that God has given me a lot of different things that I'm capable of doing, and I want to find a way to bring it all together. So my vision for this show and for all the shows is to constantly be bringing this world together, making the world a little bit smaller in a positive way, and hopefully showing people that love is stronger than hate. It goes farther, and it does more. And love creates, hate kills. So, I just hope that my show will be a flower that keeps growing, and it will be. I know it will be. So I go where God wants me to go, but I would love, if this is what He wanted, I would love to create a network where I could put all my stuff together and pool all my resources and give people an opportunity to see what it's like to have different elements of things that they enjoy, but, have the same voice and the same focus behind it. I mean, the entertainment show, the sports show, the Disney show, it all has my same love and passion and comedy and humility and community and justice and everything I named before. Like it flows. I'm a storyteller, so I want to tell as many stories as I can to as many people as I can, and just continue to bring people together and create opportunities. I think God, through my passion, my hard work, and my faith in Him, has given me a ton of doors that have opened, and I'll never turn them away when they open. So I don't know exactly what it's all going to look like at the end of the day, but I know that it makes me excited. I look forward to it, and I think that there's a lot of good things that can come from following your dreams, trusting in God, and just wanting to help other people.
Definitely. The last question I will ask: What is your motivation for everything? Why do you do what you do every day?
What is my motivation for everything? Why do I do what I do every day? I would tell you that my motivation is wanting to help people. My motivation is God. I have a desire to. I have a desire to help. I mean, I've just always had that. So I would tell you that I'm motivated by God to get up every day and try to make this world a better place. I'm motivated by my passion that I believe I can change the world for the better. And so, I mean, I would say what motivates me is God. It's me. It's seeing, good people out there. My friends motivate me. My family motivates me. I have no yes men in my life. Everybody tells me the truth. Everybody supports me, but they tell me when I need to be better, and they tell me what I can work on. So I think, my motivation comes from being surrounded by love, finally loving myself, and, believing in a God that doesn't ever fail. So, I think my motivation is just every day that I get up, I just have it. I mean, I don't know what to say, Dante. I mean, it's in my blood. It's in my veins. And I don't know if you can, kind of parallel this in your own life, but I don't know how to be anything other than motivated. I don't ever want to know what life looks like without that. I know how to attack the day with a whole lot of love, and that's all I know. I get up in the morning and I just want to create something. Every day I'm excited to go create music, to draw, to do my show, to have a conversation, to drive somewhere, to fall in love, to take a bike ride. Like I'm motivated every day to change the world for the better, and it's just, I think it comes from my faith in God. I think it comes from the love that I'm surrounded by, and I think it comes from the fact that I truly believe that I can do anything.
Yeah, great.
So those questions really made me look at myself, and I appreciate that. I can tell that you have motivational ability because you just motivated me. So with that being said, very, very much appreciate the fact that I have had the honor and the privilege of speaking with you today, Dante, and I thank you for reaching out to me. I thank you for making the connection, and now that I've talked with you here, I hope that the next step is that you and I can actually meet for a cup of coffee, talk about your vision and your mission, and go forward from there, and and help this community together. So it's an honor to have you on the show today, and I would love to continue the conversation from here.
No, definitely. Same here. I definitely appreciate the opportunity. I had a great time talking to you. And I feel like I learned a lot as well in this whole show. And just from watching you from over time. So I definitely appreciate it. And it's a blessing to be on here. And thank you for everything.
Thank you, man. Thank you for everything you taught me. And thank you for reminding me that there are beautiful and wonderful families that are doing things the right way. And please give a shout out to your mom and your dad whenever you talk to them. And your brothers and your sisters, please tell them from me personally, thank you for what they're doing and for, just what they brought to your life and just what they do. I mean, hearing about them today is really special, so give them an extra thank you from me when you talk to them.
Definitely. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I definitely relay the message.
All right, man. Sounds good. I'll talk with you soon, okay? Have a good day.
You too. Appreciate it.
Thanks. That coming from Dante Coker once again here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. And I am so... Sometimes I just don't have words, and as a broadcaster, it's like, well, you got to have words, but anybody that knows me knows that the people that get to me, they're the ones that make me speechless, the ones that make me just sit here and go, wow. You know what I mean? Like, wow. And Dante did that today, and his family, how he described them, they did that. I'm all wowed up here in the studio. So, it's cool. It's life. It's beautiful. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. We'll get you ready for the Fantasy Football Power Hour. Oh, and by the way, I said we were going to talk about colleges and universities in connection with the NFL. We're going to do that, but we're also going to do this other thing. The NFL schedule has been released today. Today! May 12th, instantaneously, while the show is on. We're getting the schedule. So why would Mike and I not talk to you about the NFL schedule as it happens? So we'll do that. Of course we will. For you. Right after this. On Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecabal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpazsnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you? The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make sure you make your way out to the Millhouse Market and download their app at the Google Play or Apple App Store today so you can have their entire menu at your fingertips. You'll have their quinoa bowls, rice bowls, salads, as well as breads, desserts, brick oven pizzas, and their sandwiches named after the families that helped to settle today's Pulaski. Ingrained in our community and ingrained in our taste buds, there is nothing like the Millhouse Market, and that is why Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sundays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., you know where to go and where to be, whether you're picking up the food in their drive-through window that makes it very easy to drive up, grab your food, and go after paying on the contactless pay on the app or by calling and doing it over the phone. Once you have that set and ready to go, you have their drive-through window. You also have their indoor restaurant where you can go right inside, sit down, and enjoy your breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And, of course, on the weekends, the bistro menu, which is a signature menu that changes every single week, which will bring you back every week to find out what their new creations are going to be. And, of course, their general store inside that has local products from local companies outside of the Millhouse Market as they extend themselves to pay it forward to help everybody in the community. So, a lot of great stuff from the Millhouse Market that goes well beyond the call of duty and everything that they've done through any time of adversity. We appreciate them. We thank them. At a time where this world stopped, they continue to grow and they continue to create and be innovative. And that beauty that called a beacon of hope to Pulaski, New York, called people from all over the place to grab a sandwich with a smile, and truly, that went a long way. Head out to 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York today. Worth the drive every time is the Millhouse Market. So, with that being stated here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Cafe Kubal studios. We're going to end this video and start a new one, as we always do for fantasy football, because fantasy football has its own archive. So we're going to end this video. So those of you on it, please know that we'll be back in just a moment. So stay on Facebook, stay on YouTube. You will see us momentarily.